back out in the maple woods today. Owen is napping, so I figured I would come up, see what Warren is up to, help him for a little bit. And if you guys like this content, please be sure to like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. And with that being said, let's go find Warren.
God, I'm 3 weeks older. Well, at the moment, I'm making sure all these plugs are in the 1-inch lines. All these lines in here are brand new. And it seems like every time we run new lines, there's always a 1-inch plug that's missing. So I'm just checking them. And then I gotta go to the other end of the lines and connect them into the wet and dries. So I'm just making sure the plugs are in. Dad put these in, but he messed up already. Do you know why? It's supposed to be this much longer, and one of these hose clamps was supposed to be in this V, so the pipe can't keep sliding down. Well, then it's kind of short, but it'll reach. A little tight, but there used to be only 3 main lines in this section, and now there's 5 of them. So the more main lines you put in, the less 5/16 tubing you end up using. Yeah, in this woods we actually ended up getting almost 35 to 40 taps per 5/16 roll of tubing. Usually they say like you get 25 taps per roll on average, but this woods is real dense too. There's a lot of taps per acre in this woods. The weather looked like, yeah, all this week it's gonna be frozen, so we're probably gonna start tapping by next week. Usually second week in January. That's what we shoot for. You know, you just gotta watch the weather. It's as simple as that. See, we got a gap between the tree and the wet and dry, so I'll have to bring in a dancer and support this 1-inch boot pipe. Otherwise it's gonna sag. Probably need like 2 dancers, but they should be getting dropped off tomorrow. Now this always springs apart, hopefully not too much. See, it sprung apart about the right amount. If it goes too far, then I'm gonna have to go home and get the big tool to pull it back together. This black one's probably gonna pull apart further. Yeah. Should be able to make it work. The main line that was in this woods before was like 21 years old. These wet and dries were replaced like 3-4 years ago, but the rest of the 1-inch pipe we left the same. We ran it a couple more years until we could afford to replace it. Times are tough. I'm gonna have to tip that up. A lot of people are starting to use stainless fittings, but I can't get past the price tag on them. I can connect this 1-inch line into the 1.5-inch wet and dries for like $10, versus if I use stainless fittings, it's like $50. So if you times that by 500 main lines, that's a lot of money. So I still use plastic, and really I might have one a year break out of 500 fitting, or 500 1-inch connections. So I just warm the pipe up a little bit, just to warm it up enough to where the pipe molds around the barb fitting a little bit. If it's not warm enough and it doesn't mold around it, you have a higher chance of it pulling back apart. So you can see it squeeze down a little bit. Perfect. I'm just tying this pipe back up to the wire. I had to cut a couple ties off just so I could pull the pipe away from the wire, so I could put this barb fitting in. I gotta put a ball valve in here and a T and a loop that'll connect up into here. So the ball valve will be right here, and then the T goes in just before it. Attach this pipe to the valve. So I got the valve, now I gotta put the T in here. Put the hose clamps 180 from each other, so you get a perfect seal. Otherwise you got a chance of it leaking vacuum. That'll go in there. I gotta straighten this pipe out first. Clamps on backwards. Yeah, so I'll have to put a dancer in. Dancer's just a stick, like one that's right next to you. Just a piece of hemlock. Hemlock 2x2. Hemlock or locust if you can find it. This is dark blue pipe. This pipe is H2O. And the light stuff is CDL. I almost think this is D&G. There's a little bit of everything in this woods. Hey, it made over 6 pounds per tap last year, so I'm not gonna complain. Yeah, half gallon is 5.5 and this was made about 6 pounds. Anything over, say, 4.5 pounds I consider great. Come back with my sticks. Nikki can do that. It's very simple. You just put 2 sticks here and hold it up. Okay, we got to carry this on to the next one. Usually, I like to have Ys in here instead. It looks a lot nicer. But I can't find a place that sells PVC Ys. Been looking, but can't find them. You can buy stainless Ys. Moving out. So the very first thing you gotta do is make sure this tension grip is pulling tight. So the only purpose of this tension grip is so if a tree hits the 1-inch pipe further down and it yanks on this pipe and pulls it that way, the tension grip will hold the 1-inch pipe this way, so it keeps the pipe from ripping out of the wet and dry. So we gotta put a ball valve in first, so we gotta cut it like right here. And then you gotta cut another like 6-inch piece off of this because we gotta put a little piece in between the T. So now we gotta put a couple wire ties back here to hold it up. Right now it's sagging. Gotta connect that to here.
I think we did it.
Okay, that's good.
High five.
It's starting to snow. It's snowing. Oh wait, that's just me shaking the tree.
I know, I was kidding.
Put a loop in. So another T in there.
No
Okay,
tea.
well, looks like we're done for now.
Ran out of some fittings, so now gotta go back to the shanty, pick up some more. I'm gonna go get Owen from his nap. Warren will be back in about 30 minutes. So if you guys hang around, you might be able to see him some more.
Carry this wire
Oh.
and poke your eye out.
So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, you know, all the things. If there's anything specific you would like to see or any questions you have, let us know and I'll make Warren answer them.
I was gonna put in 2 pipe plugs in that fitting, or in that old connection up there, but I forgot pipe dope. Yeah, that's what we call it in the trades. Yeah, thread sealant. We forgot. I gotta take that back up there and put them plugs in.
This guy looks just like you. I see the resemblance.
Blue Monster.